The really fascinating part about this rumor, though, and why it started up, is because Alabama, the spread for this game, it moved all the way down to Alabama -1. Originally, it started out at Alabama -4. Everybody was like, wait a minute, something's got to be going on for this point spread to get lower and lower and lower. Well, I didn't expect to be making this video this week or even today, but this is a pretty big deal. I mean, considering it involves, number one, Alabama, the most popular brand in college football across the world, and it's not even close. And number two, it also involves the quarterback for the number one brand in the world. So yeah, I'm pretty comfortable saying this is a big deal, and it's also an even bigger deal because it's before the Texas A&M game. This isn't just a huge game for this Saturday. Arguably, the winner of this game wins the SEC West. They'll be the front runner, they'll be in the driver's seat, but that's a different conversation for a different day. In today's video, we are here to talk about these insane rumors that are currently circling about Jalen Milroe. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, these rumors started either early Thursday or late Wednesday night. I don't know the exact starting date of all of this, but I found out about it on Thursday morning. And per usual, anytime I see crazy stuff going on, I don't report on it right away. No, I'm not about that. I normally tend to wait 24, 48, maybe up to 72 hours because I want to see how the situation folds out. And also in between that time, if I do have some sources that are close to the situation, I make a couple phone calls, a couple text messages. And fortunately, I have a lot of close sources around this Alabama football team. I think you guys know that. I have proven myself time after time after time. If you've been keeping up with the channel and watching the videos surrounding Alabama football, you know. We've put up things on this channel, not just a couple of days, but dang near 7, 8, 9, 10 days before it gets leaked out to the rest of the public. And most recently, I was the one to break the news on a Monday that Tyler Buchner was going to start over Jalen Milroe against USF. And what did everybody in the comment section say? Matt, you're crazy. Where are you hearing this? That's crazy, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, we saw what happened. And the funniest thing was after that, everybody saying, well, dang, Matt, I guess you got lucky on this one. That was a great call. No. It wasn't a call. It wasn't a prediction. People told me that was going to happen. Some people got it twisted, man. It wasn't an educated guess. It was, I have people, sources, that are at the Alabama practices who called me and told me Tyler Buchner was going to start. So yet again, it wasn't a guess. I just thought that was so funny. But Matt, shut the crap up. That's besides the point. Lock in with this. Sorry for the mini rant on that. Anyways, getting back on track here. Late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, these rumors started flying around. And these rumors were no other than Jalen Milroe, QB1 for Alabama, is dealing with a hamstring injury. I had so many people sending me this on Instagram, Twitter, from all types of sources. And I'll be honest with all of you, I wouldn't say you're gullible to believe this because that's something that can make sense. Just putting two and two together here, Jalen Milroe, he ran the ball quite a lot against Mississippi State. Maybe in practice, he pulled it. That's something that could happen to anybody during any practice. Here's what I'm trying to say. That's more believable, a hamstring injury, just pulling it a little bit, than saying, oh yeah, Jalen Milroe tore his ACL. That's what I'm saying. So if you are one of these people that believe this or you just had questions about it, I understand it. And I had over 20, 25, 30 people tweeting at me, yo, Matt, is this true? What do you think about this? Blah, 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 etc., etc. And I'm going to give y'all some inside information. Unless you see somebody that is big in the college football media putting out this information, I take everything you see with a grain of salt, but that's just me. Of course, I have my personal sources, but another guy I trust a lot, and he tweets out all the time updates on Alabama, is Brett McMurphy. A lot of times, he'll release news about injuries and starters and this and that days before everyone else gets the news. But as far as it goes for just believing a random Instagram or Twitter account, come on, man, you know better than that. You can't do that. You got so many people in 2023, they're just so thirsty for clicks and views. That is the one downside to social media. You just can't believe everything you see. I wish we could, but unfortunately, you can't. Now, with that being said, that's the obvious. Okay, Jalen Milroe, rumors going on. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. When I first saw this on Thursday, I'll tell you my immediate reaction, and I'll break it down up until I had my phone call with a couple of guys that work for Alabama on the practice squad. When I first saw this, did I, Matt B. Great, believe this or even give it a percentage of being true? Heck to the no. Didn't believe it for a single second, and I hate to keep saying this, but it goes into my thought process. If something with Jalen Milroe was going on, I would have got a phone call or text, and I didn't. I would have heard about this news, but that just goes into my thought process. And I know what everybody's saying. Well, Matt, why are you so confident in that? How are you so sure that Jalen Milroe doesn't have a hamstring injury? I'm just going to show you a picture right here. This is a picture of Jalen Milroe during practice this week. Do you see anything wrapped around his hamstring or anything like that? No. That's number one. You can just get that out there. Some people would say, oh, well, for a hamstring injury, you wouldn't wrap it up. Whatever. If you want to say that, do what you want. Fast forward in time to our current date, Friday morning, I started making some calls and sending out some text. And these phone calls and texts were fairly short. I asked 2 questions. Number 1, who was taking all the first team reps for practice this week? And number 2, is Jalen Milroe okay? The answer to those questions from everybody I talked to were all the same. Number 1, Jalen Milroe is taking all the first team reps. And number 2, yes, Jalen Milroe is okay. There's nothing wrong with him whatsoever. So to sum this story up, if you don't know where I'm going with this, I'm basically telling you this is a straight up lie, hoax, whatever you want to call it. And also, take a look at this. Nick Saban had to say this about Jalen Milroe yesterday. I said just because you're going back to Texas, that doesn't mean you have to do something different. You just have to play your game, fundamentally, do what you're supposed to do so that gives you the best chance to be successful. I'll get to why I brought this up in just a second, but if you don't know why Nick Saban's saying just because you're going back to Texas, you don't have to do anything different, he's saying that because Jalen Milroe is from Texas. That's where he played his high school ball at. So basically, Nick Saban's saying, hey, I know it's a big game for you. That's your home state, but just play it cool. Don't do anything too crazy. Don't try to win the game on one play. That's why Nick Saban said that. But also the reason I brought it up is because of this right here. Do you think Nick Saban would be saying this if Jalen Milroe was hurt? No. Come on, man. Just pay attention to small stuff like this and you can brush these rumors to a side. I don't know how clear I got to make this, but I'm going to make it clear right now. Jalen Milroe is not hurt. The really fascinating part about this rumor, though, and why it started up is because Alabama, the line, the spread for this game, it moved all the way down to Alabama -1. Originally, it started out at Alabama -4. So that's why everybody was saying all this. Everybody was like, wait a minute, something's got to be going on for this point spread to get lower and lower and lower. So I guess, and this is my only assumption on this case of scenario, people was looking at the spread going down. Everybody's like, something's got to be going on. Oh, wait a minute. Jalen Milroe must have pulled his hamstring. That's the only logical explanation I can get because anything else, it just sounds stupid and ludicrous. When in reality, the main reason the spread was going down and down and down is because a lot of people believe Alabama might choke this game. They might lose this game. That's just all it is, man. And now I'm curious. I wonder what the spread is as when I'm talking and speaking to you guys. Okay, yeah, it is now back up to Alabama -2. This is normal, guys. Point spreads, they tend to fluctuate up to, I'd say, 3 or 4 points. You just never know. Milroe should be more than good to go for this A&M game. And I'm going to remind y'all yet again, I did pick A&M to pull off the upset. This is only the second time in my entire life I have picked my team Alabama to lose a game. First time, I was right. That was a championship game 2 years ago against Georgia. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Milroe goes out here and throws 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, but I got a gut feeling he might throw a pick or have a couple of turnovers in a hostile environment. You never know. From everybody I've talked to, at least, Milroe's fine. I haven't heard anything about a hamstring injury. Don't believe anything you see on Twitter or Instagram about that. It's nonsense. Let me know your thoughts down below. But roll